Hi everyone, this is the final, we finally get into the end. So this is the final episode of the Erincast. So we're covering from episode 45 to 50. So I'm Mario and here with me is Whooper.
Same as usual. We're back
Yep, yep,
for the final time. The final time talking about Aaron.
yep. Alright, Whooper, first question, how do you feel about this finale? I think you just...
Oh, we're just jumping straight into overall thoughts. Is
Yep,
that right?
yep, yep.
Well, so I've seen the show before, and I think I have expressed previously that my favorite material in the show is the early stuff,
Yep, yep.
and that in particular the last 10 or so episodes was my least favorite part. From what I remember, I waited a while to express that
Yep.
because I didn't want us to be on like episode 25 or something and say, yeah, the ending sucks, and have you
it's,
like
it's
dread it.
it's all downhill from here.
Yeah, I didn't want that to be like in the back of your mind somewhere as we were watching.
Yeah.
But I will say, watching these episodes back, in particular the last three, 48 to 50,
Hmm.
um, kind of reaffirmed my disappointment, I guess,
Yep.
with the way that the show concludes. It just builds up to like an epic showdown between the Queen's Quarter and the the Grand Duke's Quarter, but it feels so, I don't know, it feels so focused on Aaron that as a result the whole thing feels small. Um,
Uh,
Man,
all right. Not
I don't know.
and not even that. All right. Just to say, I also agree with you on the ending. I feel let down by the ending, because they try to like build up to the big finale. With they have they need to like pre-show it in the best way possible, right? So that's why they make very many like convenient resolve. With I don't think resolve anything, you know. So let's for example saying that this is the war between like this is a challenge between the Grand Duke quarter to the Queen, right? So what the point of Namiya is that like they gonna put on the whole Toda SWAT, and that either the queen, the new queen, had to like agree to marry him, or you know show something that let's say that
Yeah,
they are...
the blue flag.
Yeah. So what they what they done instead is that the queen is actually really happy to be the wife, so that's why she wants to wait the blue flag, but it's like really wrong for one thing. That didn't happen, so that Erin had to like bring Leland to kill all the Toda, making the mess again, which is something Erin did not want to begin with. So that's second thing. And then the our protagonist, who like getting crazy, he just do something very stupid, and then he got stabbed at the end. Is the third thing. It's just so bad. And then we got like Kirikou, who like he become good for some reason. He didn't die for some reason, and then they become he and he, oh my god, I'm looking up the name.
Iaru.
Ian Ru become best friend at the end, and then like fast forward to somewhere in the future where Erin is an adult woman, have a child, and I think we would suspect that Ian is the husband.
Well, not necessarily the husband, but perhaps the father.
All right.
Who knows whether they're married? It could be like a situation from Ikoku Nikki where,
Oh,
you know,
they're not legally married.
yeah, but they have a kid.
So
There's like hundreds of millions of people living in that situation
yeah,
across the globe.
yeah. So I and let alone like Buku and Nuku, just what the heck they are doing, like in this episode. So, like just
Leave Moku and Nuku out of this.
I remember the last scene that we see of them is when I think they saw someone and then they try to run away with so that Erin can be alone with that person. It's not
What?
yeah. I just remember that's the last scene that I seen of Nuku and Moku, and then they just disappear from the screen. They just like out of the way. Oh boy.
Isn't the last thing that we see of them them being held at like sword point so that Erin will not kill herself?
Really?
Like,
Alright.
yeah, because that's why for the last 10 or so episodes, we've been seeing that dagger that Erin has been carrying around because she intends to commit suicide so that
Alright.
nobody can fly on Leland's back and she won't be used as a tool of war. But then, in order to stop Erin from killing herself, they get Nuku and Moku, like a couple of Damia's, servants or whatever, his
Yeah.
henchmen, get
Yeah.
Nuku and Moku at sword point so that Erin won't commit suicide.
Alright. Yep.
Like as hostages, essentially. Was that not the last we saw of them, or are you talking about a scene after that?
I don't even remember. I don't remember where's the last time that I saw them. They just that I just not care about them. But like in any case, it just yeah.
I mean, I think they are far from the biggest problem
Alright.
with this conclusion. It's not their fault.
They part of that.
There were a lot of other problems.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I mean, I like this show.
I still like the
I
show.
think
Yes.
I think it's a good show, but and I mean I feel like I'm gonna have to run defense for it a little bit because you are not a fan at all. It seems of the conclusion.
No, I'm not.
Not that I'm a particular advocate for it either, but I think the issue is that the show just wanted to have a big like final battle type scene, and it really was not equipped to do that. Like the CG Toda, of course, Damia having arranged the attack on the Queen's ship in the last batch of episodes, or perhaps even the batch before that. Like around episode 40 or so,
Yep.
I think,
Yep.
was when he arranged for the Toda to attack the Queen's ship, and that's what resulted in her falling and hitting her head, which eventually led to her death.
Yep.
It was clear that Damio was behind that, and that being the case, that means that he has an army of Toda. Like, he has some sort of pipeline
Right.
to, to raise them or like breed them or whatever. He has some sort of contact in the Grand Duke's quarter, who we assume as Nugan, who by the way showed up here
Yeah.
and had basically no impact on the story.
I forgot to mention about Nugan as well, because Sunan is like when he see the blue flag, he was so happy, like I gonna have a wife, and then Nugan just like, nope. We have the whole army here, just attack. Oh my god.
Yeah. The weird thing is that initially, when you have the two armies on either side at Tahai Aze,
Uh-huh.
which is like the name of this I don't know, sacred space on top of this mountain or whatever, it's not totally clear where they are. And in fact, in episode 48, when the two armies are gathering on either side,
Yep.
I don't think there's a single shot that shows where the two camps are in relation to one another.
Right.
That's the episode where it's snowing like crazy, and there's the huge fight between Iaru and Kirikou, and eventually the two of them form an alliance against the
Yep.
people who are posing as the Saigamul,
Yep.
who are under Damio's control. Like, seriously, I it's not as though I went back and rewatched the episode,
Right.
but as I was watching it again this time, I struggled to recall even a single instance of like the two camps on either side at Tahai Aze being shown like in relationship to one another. It was just very confusing.
Yep.
where everyone was, how the final battle was gonna like shape up, how it was arranged. That was bizarre.
yeah,
But you at least knew that like Nugon was with the other members of the Grand Duke's quarter. He was like on the same side of the battlefield as his brother. But he must have snuck away at one point in order to lead the charge of this second force of Toda that was under Damia's control. And the CG, man, in the scene where like the Toda stop moving because they've raised the blue flag.
right.
Yeah. And then the other army of Toda comes over a hill and like collides into them.
Oh boy.
Just looked so
Yeah,
I mean ugly. It has to be said. It was bad, man.
yeah. And I think to make it worse though, like Erin, the story actually start with Erin, like be friends with the Todas, and like learn about Toda, and like come at the realization that they are the wild beasts, so like they cannot be tamed. So that basically the same with the beast law, but like at the end of it, we just see that the Toda just there just for that just for Leland to like smuggle them, kill them, tear them in half. Like they just it's just so bad. It's just a bad way to like to put to depict like the animal and even the characters in there. It just doesn't really wrap up anything.
Yeah, I don't know. The dynamic between Beast Lords and Toda was always like very central to how the final conflict was going to play out.
Mm-hmm.
I think the main issue is that it's so focused on Leland in particular and Eren in particular.
And then
Like was no attempt made by Damia to like covertly study what Eren did in order to develop this relationship with Beast Lords,
yeah,
so that he could replicate it. I mean, his goal is to have an army of Beast Lords. I think he expresses that at one point.
yeah.
But
I think
I don't know. Eren is just so she's like a one of one in this show. She's so special. She has this relationship with Leland, and she kind of dominates this climactic, conflict
yeah,
between two major like regions of a huge country that are at odds politically and militarily.
yeah,
She's one person. Like, can she really have that much influence over?
and
I don't think you can like credibly write the story in that direction.
yeah.
That she everything hinges on her. I think that's where some of my misgivings lie.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. And there are, and there's something that just not right as well. So at the end, actually, Erin followed Namiya's suggestion, right? So because he had to use Leland in order to kill the other Toda. So
Yeah.
and or
Yeah, so all of the I won't use Beast Lords as tools of war
It
that
ju-
you've been preaching for many, many episodes
yeah,
kind of flew out the window.
Yeah.
And she thinks to herself, as episode, I think, 49
mm-hmm,
is closing. Is that the timing of it? Yeah. As episode 49 is closing and she's flying on the back of Leland, who is like going crazy. And I maybe it's episode 50 where we actually see Leland like start to rip up the Toda and eat them and stuff. But in any case, we see Eren get on Leland's back in episode 49 and she's flying over the thing and she thinks to herself, in the end, I'm a foolish human who would use you as a weapon. But even so, and then her voice just cuts out. There's no follow-up. She says, even so, but then there's no follow-up at all. She just like
and
went back on everything that she had preached for.
yeah,
I mean, she really wasn't left with any choice, I guess, but
yeah, but yeah,
felt kind of hollow.
yeah, and don't get me started on like the arrow that almost killed Eric because it just like out of nowhere for once. She led there almost dying, and like then the whole thing of like the show wanted us to see that like about to die. So like everything that just manipulate us to see how like how sad that is, and then Leland just like come back to save her, and oh my god, all of this. Ah, all right.
It sounds like on my end, it sounded like you just put your head in your hands.
I just put, yeah. My God, it's not a good ending by any stretch.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I actually really
But
really wanted to read the original novel to see how they resolve that, because
I bet it's similar.
I think
I mean, you got to fit. This is like a young. It's an adaptation of a young adult novel,
right.
and those those stories often have like the protagonist being the one person who can save the world, and they're about to die, but then
Yeah.
something happens and they're saved, and it's probably similar.
Oh boy. All right. So yeah, no, not this ending. Ah,
Well, how about we
go
double
back.
back to episode 45.
Right. Actually,
Episode 45 is the Kirikou
yeah.
episode.
All right. Actually, episode 45 is my favorite. I accidentally watched it on the last postcard. It I actually really enjoy it, the way that Damian now that's so old his cat, and he actually successfully trying to kill Yalu. So he actually successfully deceived Yalu of drinking that poison glass. So that like put him into like a very low point and almost die because of that. So like it actually a pretty good one. What do you think about that episode?
I think it's fine. Um, the fact that the antidote, like the little candies that are rose shaped,
Uh-huh.
that they have the cure for the poison, that they're we see them earlier in the episode before Iaru is invited to have that conversation with Damia, is a nice bit of foreshadowing. Um, I will say that there's like a very blatant parallel between the way that Iaru talks about Erin
Mm-hmm.
and Kirikou, and the way that Kirikou thinks about his sister. So, for
Right.
example,
Uh-huh.
uh, Kirikou like says, "This world is only for the pure of heart." He believes that only people who are pure should be allowed to I don't know, live,
Right. Right.
or
Mm-hmm.
only they should have like whatever, like privileges in society, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And that goes back to his backstory, where he was uh, he was what was he was a Holon, I think, and he was adopted by Wajaku parents, or perhaps it was the other way around. I don't actually remember.
Yeah. I think you are along the same line. Uh. So
Now I'm going through my notes.
I.
New teacher was referred to as a Holon by his adoptive parents. Yes. Okay. I have my whole notes for the entire series in one single document, so I can like
Refer
use
to it.
Control F and find stuff.
Right.
So yeah, he was a Holon,
Yeah.
so somebody who belongs to the Queen's Quarter, and his parents belonged to the Grand Duke's Quarter, and they apparently adopted him and his sister like so that they could
Get the title. I
achieve
think.
a particular social standing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they needed an heir. Maybe they had no child and they needed to adopt or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, we know the whole story. We've seen it a million times in flashbacks. His parents poisoned his sister because they only wanted to raise one kid. So he was like, okay, now I poison you. He played the Uno reverse card. Um, he thinks of his sister as having been pure,
Yeah.
and his parents thought of kids as tools to achieve whatever rank it was that they were pursuing.
Mm-hmm.
So then later, when Kirikou has the fight with Iaru, Iaru says to him, "Oh, Eren is pure, and you are Damia's tool." Like the mirroring of the language there is just. I took a very long and roundabout way of explaining this, but essentially, this show just is very blatant
Hmm.
in using the same terms there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's not. I mean, it's not terrible.
All right.
And I did kind of like Damia's evil monologue that he gives after
Ah,
they've both drunk the poison.
right.
It was kind of like a classic evil villain.
Yeah,
Uh, Here's my whole plan
yeah.
moment.
I'm not sure about. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Like for someone who very good at scheming, he just kind of like betray that character and just say like, ah, this is, you know, this is what I want.
Yeah.
Just go mad.
Well, I mean, he at that point Iaru had ingested the poison, so he probably thought, well, I can say whatever I want now.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
I'm not somebody who is going to poo-poo an evil villain monologue 100 times out of 100. Sometimes it can be fun.
Right. Yeah. So that episode of a
But
lot.
you know what's not fun?
Yeah. Go on.
Uncles and nieces getting married.
Hey. Hold on. Yep. Yep. Go on. Go on.
Nothing. That's it. Incest is not fun.
Yeah.
But
Well,
that's what
they.
we were headed towards.
Yeah. Well, they want to retain the bloodline. They want to retain the pure. Uh. Yeah. But the thing is, I'm not sure uh if the new queen just going ahead with that plan. Like she doesn't really have a say on that, right? Until until Erin got to see her and tell her about the truth in bracket, because uh,
Right. That was in episode 47 when when Samia is undergoing the purification ritual,
yeah.
um, which apparently just requires her to go to a hot spring.
By herself.
Well, her attendant was there, I think.
Yeah.
But it's not as though she had to climb a mountain and bathe in an icy, uh, you know, lake or whatever.
Mm.
She just had to take a bath.
Right. Oh well.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's when she learns that Damia is an evil schemer
Yeah.
and all that. Did she have a choice in whether she was going to marry her uncle
Yep.
or not? I don't really. I mean, obviously the there was a breakup between her and Shunan, or at least not a breakup, but she was offended by the fact that he seemed to be marrying her only for political reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and so as a result, she then had to marry her uncle. I don't think it was. Maybe what we're supposed to infer is that she is under pressure to produce an heir, as soon as possible,
Yeah.
in order to legitimize her as queen.
Huh.
I don't think that was ever explicitly
Yeah.
stated, but maybe that's just what we're supposed to think.
Yeah. So as a whole.
There's just a lot of
Yeah.
detail that's missing and a lot of
Mm.
stuff that seems not to have a huge impact on when Eren sneaks out of Lazal in order to go see Samia. Before that, she encounters the guy from the Mist People who
Right.
has been observing her this whole time,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
who she's spoken to several times previously. And he's like, "No, you can't use the renditioner skills. I forbid you from doing this." And she just flies away.
Yep.
She says, "No, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Goodbye."
Yeah. Yeah.
So he didn't. I'm sure he had a mute whistle. If his
I
intention was to stop Eren, he would have brought a mute whistle. Why didn't he blow it?
actually, I think of a good way to end this without resolving into the plot path that we see in these last 3 episodes. Why don't they use Erin's mother's skill? To do to try to visual and then to get all the Toda just run away, or rendered them not walking, not doing anything. Remember, like Soyeon, she did that to save Edwin, right?
Right.
Why don't we do that?
Yeah, she didn't. Did she kill the other Toda and just manipulate the one into giving Eren a ride on its back?
No, she didn't
I
kill.
don't think so, right?
No, she didn't kill anyone. She actually just I think using her voice as a visual to manipulate one of the Toda to put Edwin away, and then for the
Right.
others Toda to just like to immobile, to not moving at all.
That's right. They're frozen for a little bit, and then it wears off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah. I mean, we see the Toda immobilized by Lilan's scream
right, yeah,
at one point, and then it wears off,
and that
and they start marching towards the Queen again, and then that's when they raise the blue flag.
right, and I think that actually make more sense. Like to use the technique that was long forbidden to like, to put that in peace. Just not like this, where you have to use.
I don't know.
Right.
The mist people, the audio or audio,
Yeah.
are like they are hardliners about the use of that technique. They just will not ever do it.
That's the way to break that tradition, right? In a good way. Because
Yeah, but they just wouldn't. I don't think Eren knows how to
right.
whistle like that in order to control the Tolda,
Yeah.
and the mist people wouldn't do it. I mean, they kind of live separate lives from the rest of the citizens of this country. They're not part of the Grand Duke's quarter. They're not part of the Queen's quarter. They're neither Wajaku nor Holon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, whatever happens in this conflict between these two groups of people is not. I don't know. They might just view it as like not relevant to them. And even if they could prevent like bloody war from breaking out through the use of that technique, they're not going to do it. Because they think that if they do, it will somehow cause history to repeat itself.
Yeah. All right. And at that point, I think history is about to repeat itself. So they have to do something. But in any case, I still think that episode 46 is where Yalu got in church and go to seek refugee from Erin. It's a really good episode because that's the time where like the two of them can talk to each other. I always enjoy the two of them, like just talking to each other. What was bad though is when Damia comes in and they try to hide Yalu under I think
Lilan.
Yeah, under one of the big slot, and it's so obvious, like you can still see the the shed of blood of Yalu, and why
Yeah.
does he clean it up? Oh my god! And then the guy just decide, all right, we head off now. He's not here, but I'm keeping an eye on you. And then they left.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then they go back to having a conversation with each other, not whispering at all.
Right.
Obviously, they would keep one person posted outside of the barn there or the shed.
They.
Because the trail of blood led in there.
I think they just losing the plot at that point, but. Okay.
I thought what was going to happen as I was watching episode 46 for the second time. I was like, okay, so if he comes in here to the shed and Eren patches him up and everything, what they're probably going to do is just put Iaru in the cage, behind bars
Right.
with the Beast Lords.
Right.
So that Damia and his men would be too afraid to go in there.
Right.
They would probably still hide him as well. He wouldn't just be clearly visible between the bars. They would attempt to hide him, but they would figure. My thought was they're going to figure out that he's in there with Lilan,
Yep.
but they won't be able to get at him.
Yep.
But the show, they didn't even do that. They just kind of made Damia look like an idiot.
Yep.
But that's okay.
I think that it at that point that the show went a bit like off the track from there, but yeah. How do you feel about Kirikou and yeah, um, the newfound friendship, partnership.
I mean, it's pretty classic for two people to be like fighting each other, and then all of a sudden, like a bigger force arrives
Yeah,
who want to kill
yeah. The
them both.
the
So
end.
then they form an alliance and
Yeah,
they combine their powers, and you see them back to back
yeah.
fighting people in a circle around them and stuff.
The
In the
enemy of
same
the
way
enemy
that
is
I am kind
friends.
of okay with Damia's evil villain speech, I'm kind of okay with Iaru and Kirikou forming a truce and fighting off their opponents
All right.
in concept.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was so snowy and I could not tell what the hell was going on uh, kind of
Yeah.
dampened that scene for me.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. All right. I already tell you my thought about the last few episodes now. So, is there any other thing on your note that you want to mention?
About these last 6 episodes or so?
Yeah, about the last, even about the last three episodes, the finale, or you know,
Yeah, I
anything.
don't know. I mean, my thoughts are about them are generally negative, I suppose, and we've been pretty negative, so I feel like we kind of covered a lot of the issues that these episodes had. Not comprehensively or anything. I can imagine somebody listening to this and being like, none of those are actual real problems at all. Um,
Yeah.
it just depends on your level of enthusiasm, I suppose. And I mean, speaking of which, I'm looking back on the show as a whole. I already knew that the finale was going to be kind of stinky, so
Mm.
it doesn't take away from the my experience overall, I suppose,
Yeah.
very much. Um, I really, I like the show. I like the early episodes in the village where Erin grew up. I like her. I especially love her relationship with Joan and like
Mm.
her education, kind of that he oversees.
Yeah.
I like all the stuff most of the stuff at Kazam,
Yeah.
where she furthers her education and becomes a teacher herself. And it's really just Samia and Shunan and Nugan being kind of non-characters
Mm.
that I don't know. That's a bummer.
Yeah.
There there's just so much focus on Erin, and rightfully so, I guess. Her name is in the title and everything. But if the show was going to go so big on the conflict between the two quarters or whatever, at the end, and there needed to be a bigger build up towards it. So that I have an issue with. But because it's so Aaron centric, you can just focus on all the Aaron stuff and be like, all this stuff is good.
Mm.
So that's how I choose to look at it, I suppose.
Right. I think I have the same feeling with you. I enjoy the majority of Erin's, especially the early ones. When she grow up, when she get used to the world, when she learn about the hard truth, uh, and then when she's like regain that as well, regain uh, through Jones, like she has someone she can actually believe in, all that. And I think it's just the last three episodes where it's a stinkers. um, and I think it's a more frustrated because we so invested to Erin and Leland and all that like just the ending is not, it's not really that bad per se, but it just doesn't really live up, and that make it more frustrating, because they could have done it much better than this. uh, Anyways, though, still a really good show, especially if the show is like aimed at the children. I think this is like one of the show that will make them think, that will like pick their interest about the world, about how to treat the animals, the wild animals as well. uh, yeah, and Erin is still a really good model characters that she have a lot of good eyes. She have to overcome herself. She to become who she is at the end. So a really good show, marked by the bad ending.
Yeah, I guess that I guess that's accurate. Um, I knew it was coming,
Oh,
so I was fine. I was fine with it, I guess.
right.
I mean, some parts of it are kind of funny,
Oh,
so there's some entertainment there at least. Like Nugon showing up, leading the Damia's Toda army over the hill.
oh, yep. that,
I was
I
just
did
made me
know that.
laugh. Like I was like, where is Nugon in all of this?
Yeah, yeah,
Then
yeah.
when he showed up, I was like, oh, that's right. That is what happens. And then he just nothing comes of it
Oh,
essentially.
and even like Nugan father, like the real Grand Duke, he actually just falling down like in the middle of the battle, and apparently I think
He doesn't just fall down. He gets like blown away way up into the air. There's a shot of him getting like hurled into the air.
all right,
But yeah, then
pass
he
away.
comes back down to earth and dies. And you actually see there's a shot of like a soldier stepping on his corpse
Oh,
as he's running away from the Toda in episode probably 50.
oh really? I did. All right, that's that harsh
Oh,
on the
I
Grand
see
Duke.
now in my notes here it's 49. I mean, it's not as though his corpse is like decayed or anything. He just looks like he's unconscious.
Yeah.
But somebody definitely steps on him as they're running away.
All right. Okay. All right.
Like I can accept Kirikou being redeemed and Eren
I'm
and
fine with that
Yaru
too.
having like a child together
Yeah.
and um the relationship between Shunan and Seiya being the thing that's gonna unite the country and like dispel the darkness, or whatever phrase it is that they use to describe
Uh-huh.
the conflict between those two groups.
Yeah.
I think all of that in concept, is kind of solid, but the way that things played out was kind of like, hey,
Yeah. The way they put all together, it just doesn't really make that much sense. And like you said, taking one in isolation is still good enough, and I can see where they come from. All of them together, though, it just make it the whole mess.
yeah, that's okay though.
Yeah.
Not every show sticks the landing.
Yeah.
And I mean, the longer a show is, this is a 50 episode series, so the longer an anime is and the more goodwill it's able to build up over the first, I don't know, let's say 40, 45 episodes, whatever number you want to
Yeah.
pick, the less that the ending hurts. I mean, not for everybody, but that's one way you can look at it, I think.
Hmm.
This is a pretty long show,
Yeah. Yeah.
and most of the episodes are pretty good.
Yeah.
Some are great.
Yep. I agree. And yep, Erin is a still really good characters, and even yeah, the whole cast is actually pretty good as well. Even Leland is as a good is a good character as a wild beast who just does her
Well, she
whole
wasn't
thing.
supposed to be a war beast, but
Yeah.
in the end, Aaron was like, "What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Gotta stop the Toda.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta go back on my principles." I mean, when you think about it, Aaron displaying that level of flexibility kind of sets her apart from the audio, who did not use the renditioner skills. Because you were talking about the fact that they could like save a lot of lives by doing that.
Right.
So in a sense, Aaron actually, even though it's kind of like a betrayal of the values that she had been espousing for many episodes prior, it does represent that it does like show that she is more flexible in her thinking. She's more willing to prioritize human life over the principles that she has surrounding the treatment of animals.
All right.
It doesn't feel great to see her like
Yeah.
swap,
Yeah.
her principles
Hmm.
at the end, but she did it in order to save Shunan, perhaps
The whole country.
knowing that it was going to be Shunan and Seiya together who would be able to
Yeah.
set the country on the right path.
Yeah. Oh well. I I think my assessment is that I can think of like a better ending that like gonna resolve everything than this.
Yeah.
Better than this.
I'm sure such an ending exists.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe the ending of the novel really is different from the anime, but I kind of doubt it.
Right. Alrighty, that's it for us for the Erincast, and thanks all of you who follow us along and maybe watching this Erincast over again. Um, it's a good ride. It just it get a little bit bumpy at the end, but it's still a really solid ride.
Yeah. And now that we're finished with Aaron,
Hmm.
we'll probably pick up another classic.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna discuss about that and
Yeah.
pick out the good ones.
Yeah, no spoilers. You'll just have to stay tuned to find out what it is.
Yeah, yeah. No spoiler because there is no spoiler. It's nothing.
Aha.
There is nothing to spoil.
At least not yet.
Yeah, yeah.
As for what's coming up next, it's going to be spring 2026.
Mm-hmm.
Some current day anime.
Yeah.
We'll take a look at 10 of those shows and give our thoughts on them.
Yeah.
I don't know when this will be uploaded exactly, so I can't say how many days or weeks away
Mm.
those spring impressions are, but they're coming up fast. So stick around for that if you like, and if not, there'll be another classic show soon.
All right. All right. So talk to you soon, guys.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.